We heard that Mr. Trump couldn't stay, and then Donald said, I'm staying. So guess what? He's staying. He's got more questions. Willie Geist out in our audience.
And it's a good thing because we've got a bunch more questions. Mr. Trump, this is Gina Cardellano, 24 years old. Gina?
Hi, Mr. Trump. Today is Hillary's birthday. What are you getting her for her birthday this year?
Well, I'd say happy birthday. You know, lots of luck. But we're going to be in a very tough battle because we have such divergent views. She really is going on a record that's very bad. You know, every poll is saying that I'm beating her now nationwide, as you see. And I think we're going to have a great victory for the Republicans, and we're going to bring this country back. And it's going to be bigger and better and more beautiful than ever before. And that's what I'm looking to do.
Thank you, Gina.
Go ahead, Willie.
Mr. Trump, this is Paul Morissette, auctioneer, lifelong Republican, big supporter of yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
How you doing, Mr. Trump? My wife Beth and I own Regal Auction in Franklin, New Hampshire. One of the auctions we do is gun auctions. We're doing one on November 21st. So I have my finger on the pulse of gun owners in New Hampshire and elsewhere in the country. What all us gun owners are wondering is if there's any more regulations on a bill that reaches President Trump's desk, will you pledge now to veto that? So we can stop the assault on Second Amendment rights. We don't want to be Australia.
Yeah, the answer is yes, because we have tremendous regulations already. A lot of people don't even realize we have tremendous regulations, and people aren't abiding by. Government does a terrible job of enforcing them, but we already have tremendous regulations. Now, if you look at my opponents, they're very weak on the Second Amendment. I'm very, very strong, as you know. Well, you probably wouldn't like me, right? But I am very strong on the Second Amendment. Carson is weak on the Second Amendment. Bush is very weak on the Second Amendment. And virtually many of them are, and some of them aren't. But I'm very strong for the Second Amendment. No, I would not do anything. But you have to enforce what you have right now. And there are plenty right now.
In the wake of some of the mass shootings over the summer, you said it is inevitable that some people who are mentally ill are just going to slip through the cracks. It sounds like you're saying stuff happens, to coin a phrase that someone else used.
Well, that was a terrible expression from Bush. But the fact is that we have a huge mental health problem. And if you look at some states, including New York and others, they've let, in order to save money for finance reasons, they've let people out of mental institutions. We have a big problem with that. This is a mental health problem. And believe me, they'll always find a way to get something, whether it's a gun or otherwise. These people that are unstable, we have to straighten out our mental health. And we do have in this country big mental health problems, and that's the problem we have.
And not at all a gun problem.
Well, we already have so much regulation, Matt. You know, there's tremendous regulation right now that people don't even realize. We have this is a mental health problem. These people are all, to put it mildly, they're crazy. And we have to straighten out our institutions. So many of these institutions, and you see it up here too, they're closing and they're putting the people out on the street. That's the biggest problem we have.
Willie?
Trump, this is Scott Pafford, 47 years old, single dad, 2 kids, IT project manager, independent, leaning strongly your way.
Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Mr. Trump, you know a lot of people. Who's the most interesting person you've ever met?
My father, but that would be normal. And my mother. These were 2 incredible people. I would say Ronald Reagan was somebody I liked a lot. I knew him. I was a young guy. I was helping him a little bit, and I didn't know him that well. But I just found him to be a very inspiring person. I liked Ronald Reagan.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your question.
Come on up.
Go ahead, real quick.
One more?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
21-year-old college student, independent. What's your question, Aaron?
Good morning. I'm a senior at St. A's, and my question for you is, if you could fire someone from government today, who would it be and why?
The President of the United States. That was the easiest question. That was the easiest question I had today.
Thank you for your question. Let me end, Mr. Trump, on another quote from your book, Art of the Deal. Okay? You wrote this: I'll do nearly anything within legal bounds to win. So does that apply to the presidential campaign as well? Would you be willing to make promises that you know you can't keep to win the election?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I don't think I have to do that. Everything I say, I can do. Everything I say, I will abide by. And I think people will be very surprised. At the end of a 4-year term, we're going to have a country that will be so amazing. We'll have so many victories. It won't be Sergeant Bergdorf, where we get Bergdahl and they get 5 guys that they've been after for years. It won't be an Iran deal, which is a disgrace as a contract and as a deal, a disgrace. We give them $150 billion. We don't even get our prisoners back. We will have great, great victories in this country, and I will abide by everything that I'm saying on the campaign trail.
Again, my thanks to the people of New Hampshire in this room. I appreciate your questions. And our thanks to Donald Trump for giving us the time this morning for this town hall meeting.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.